GodPods. Did you know that the Bible doesn't actually say there were 3 wise men? Please do press the like and subscribe buttons and we'll get going. Matthew 2 verse 1 says, "Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem." Matthew's account is vague to say the least, and unfortunately his is the only gospel that mentions the Magi. The Greek word Magi indicates these men were astrologers and interpreters of omens, and were usually personal advisors to the king. They are consulted in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, and by Pharaoh in the time of Joseph. These men must have had royal connections to be trusted by King Herod. From the carol "We Three Kings from Orient Are," we are misled into thinking that they were themselves kings, but it is unclear whether or not they really were royalty. We usually think in terms of 3 men because they brought 3 gifts to the baby Jesus: gold, frankincense and myrrh. This of course assumes that there was only one of each gift. The wise men came from the east, and based on the nature of their gifts and Old Testament prophecy, they most likely came from the ancient Arabian kingdom of Sheba, an area which is now in either Iraq, Iran, the Yemen, or in southern Turkey, northern Syria. Interestingly enough, at the time of Jesus' birth, the kings of Yemen were Jews. Arabia was known for its vast wealth from the gold mines of Africa, as well as the boswellian and conifera trees from which frankincense and myrrh are derived. These gifts signify the best commodities from their own country to a neighbouring king. Gold, frankincense and myrrh have their primary significance in their value, which makes them suitable as gifts for a king. While gold was associated with royalty, it may also foreshadow Jesus' purpose. The walls of the most holy place and the altar are overlaid with gold. Frankincense was part of ceremonial worship of deity, which demonstrates a belief that the newborn king carried a claim of deity. And myrrh was used as a perfume, anointing oil, medicinal tonic, and as a key ingredient in the mixture of spices used to prepare bodies for burial. This may foreshadow the manner in which Jesus would save his people through his death. On their journey from the east, the Magi would have been accompanied by many servants. At that time, camels were pack animals. People in northern Arabia usually rode Arabian horses, so it is perhaps more likely that the Magi, being more wealthy travellers, had the greater comfort of riding on horseback. Matthew tells us they saw a star that signified the prophecy of the Jewish king. Even with modern computer simulations, we are not certain what was the new star in the sky. Theories include comets, supernovas, conjunctions of planets, or a supernatural event. Dr. Daniel Brubaker has pointed out how great is our God, who could produce a universe with a predestined star that would occur just at the time of his son's birth. The Magi would have known about the prophecies of a special Jewish saviour to be born in Bethlehem from the time of the Jews' exile in ancient Babylon several hundred years before. Matthew does not say a star led them from their land to Jerusalem. However, if you were looking for a king, the palace is where you would naturally go. In chapter 2 verse 9, Matthew tells us that after the Magi left King Herod, The star they had seen when it rose went before them until it came to rest over the place where the child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. They were wise enough not to return to Herod. Legend has developed over time that their names were Caspar, Melchior and Balthazar. Caspar supposedly has brown hair and a brown beard, or no beard, wears a green cloak and has a gold crown with green jewels on it. He is the king of Sheba and brought frankincense. Melchior has long white hair and a white beard and wears a gold cloak. He is the king of Arabia and brought the gift of gold. Balthazar has black skin and a black beard, or no beard, and wears a purple cloak. He is king of Tarsus, Macedonia and Egypt, and brought myrrh. When the wise men found Jesus and Mary, they would have been living in a normal house, probably in Bethlehem or Jerusalem, because by this time Jesus would have been between 1 and 2 years of age. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Happy New Year.